Hi, this is Ryan. We're back at a project here we started last year. We built a mother-in-law suite downstairs for his mom, and unfortunately, there's no good place to do the laundry now. So all the bedrooms and the laundry and everything are upstairs, and it's becoming a challenge. So we're gonna go ahead and add a laundry room on the main level for her. We decided to do it in the garage here. We're in Arizona. We don't have to worry about the freezing. So it's gonna be a good situation for her. The other thing that's nice is this actually backs up to a bathroom, so we can have easy access to all the plumbing. Let's get started. My trusty retractable magnet helps save my back while I hunt down the hidden screws in the sheetrock. Removing them carefully lets us reinstall the original drywall, saving time and materials. Any magnet will work for the step, though a stronger neodymium magnet makes the job easier. All right, so one of the disadvantages of a remodel is you always end up finding stuff you don't expect. But the nice thing is if you do it right and you take it all apart like this, you can find that, like right here, there's an old mouse nest where mice were getting into the house and making a big old mess here, which is really bad for your health. So when we put all this back together, we'll definitely make sure to address this insulation and remove all of that, put in some fresh insulation, and make sure there's no voids in here for the mice to get back into. It's like Disneyland in here. Mickey Mouse. We decided to use this type of box for the washer dryer. It comes with a metal bar that goes between the studs. And that connects in here to give it some nice good support. One feature this one has is hammer arresters, which are required in many jurisdictions because this has a valve on it that will open and close quite quickly, and it would cause hammering inside your walls. And so this one has the hammer arresters built in. The other thing that's nice about this box is, if you can see, there's holes both at the bottom and at the top. So in our situation, I might end up bringing the valves in from the top instead of from the bottom. And then my water lines connect straight in, and it's a nice clean install. In most installations, you'd come in from the bottom and do something like that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and clean up. That's much better. Just wanted to make sure to clean out all of the mouse stuff that we found in there so that we have a nice, clean, and safe environment to finish up. All right, let's talk a little bit about what we have going on here. So we've got the washer hookup here with both the water lines brought in from the top. These are the hammer arresters we talked about to make sure that it won't cause a water hammer in there. This is for the drain. The drain has a P-trap down there. It's supposed to be at least 6 to 11 inches off the ground, which we have hit. And then this has a maximum height of 30 inches. 18 to 30 inches is the requirement for the riser here. So we've got that. And then the electrician went ahead and set us up with the 240 volt outlets for the dryer. And then the washing machine, just the 20 amp 120 volt system. So got all that set up. Everything looks pretty good. When I was cleaning it, I did notice new construction. These actually weren't tightened down very well. So that's just something to check when you're in there. And we can easily just put a wrench on these and tighten them up and get that all safe and secure. So the next thing we have to do here is we drilled a large hole through this 2x4 stud, and they make these stud shoes. What this does is it helps transfer the load around in the steel. This is a nice thick steel plate. So we set those on there. I'm gonna go ahead and put one on the existing old one as well, because the other thing this will do is it gives us our plate so we can't nail or screw through it and penetrate that drain. So I'll go ahead and get those nailed and screwed on. I'm going to go ahead and use nails on the face because it's a lot flatter head than if I used a screw. My wife is cringing. I really should be wearing my PPE. Please be smarter than me. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish that with the other saw because I really didn't want to cut it too deep. Okay, so I know that took way too long, but the challenge is the wood is obviously much harder to cut through than the plastic. You can see I did overshoot it here, but you can't even tell when you hit the plastic. So it's part of the reason why I take a little bit more time and get that done. On the structural sheathing, we want to be close, but it doesn't need to be quite as perfect as when we get to the drywall stage. All right, now that we got all the drywall all finished and the electrical most of the way done, we can install the trim. And I really like using a 23 gauge pin nailer because it really, you can't see the nails. It'll hold it in place really well, but you have a lot less cleanup to do. And if you hear, I am hitting it twice, because that way one nail goes one direction, the other one goes the other direction to hold it in. These nails are super tiny, super thin. So the way they get their holding power is by driving them in multiples. I have a stud finder here that actually shows if there's any power in the wall. So that's really good to see because, for example, as we get close to here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this little indicator turned red showing there's a power line behind there. So if you want to use something like this, it's a really good idea when you're going into a wall where there's some power around. And this has a double top plate, and there's a stud next to the wall here as well. So unfortunately, I'm going to end up having the duct a long ways away from the corner, farther away than I had hoped. Much farther away than I had hoped. That should be good. Okay, so good news, we didn't hit anything. And there's no insulation on this outside wall of the garage, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised about. I am using a masonry bit because the outside of this home has stucco on it, and this is going to go through a little bit better, not chew things up. The other nice thing is there's a lot less teeth, so if I did hit insulation, this wouldn't turn it all into a cotton candy mess. So, going really slow. I don't want to blow out the concrete on the other side. In fact, I'm going to finish this hole from the other side. And this is the hole that we drilled for the dryer vent. So it's really interesting to see here. We've got the single layer of drywall on the inside, a layer of tar paper, foam insulation, and then stucco. There's actually no exterior sheathing on this section of the house, which I find really interesting. With the drywall in place, we're installing the new ducting to make sure the laundry works perfectly. We're all done. So we've got the washing machine box set up with the drain, hot and cold lines, power, dryer power. We've got the ductwork run. The patching's done. We just need to put in a coat of paint and we're all done. Not bad. Next time, we'll be transforming a tiny bathroom in the woods into a functional, stylish space. Please like and subscribe to join us for the future adventures.